alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is lesson number 3 inshallah, and we are starting part number 1 in this lesson. And we start Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim bis salah ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I would like to welcome you all in this lesson, and inshallah, we all benefit from this explanation. What I want to tell you at the moment is that this course is divided into 2. The first one is the theoretical part, and the second part is the practical one. And the practical one depends on you yourself as a student. Okay, so try whatever I'm saying through the course, you say, okay, you experience it with me, because we are going to handle letter by letter, and I want you to feel what I am saying, what I'm explaining. Okay, now let us start by a reminder. Last time we handled the letters from the first angle, and the first angle was that we were wondering, is the sound of the letter is able to be lengthened in its articulation point, in its exit point, or not? And as the scholars told us, and we also realized that we have 3 categories, 3 groups of letters. The first group is those letters where the articulation point, the exit point, is closing so hard that it's not allowing at all any sound to pass through. And these letters are called hard letters, huruf shadida, okay? And then we also, on the contrary, we noticed that there are the other, on the contrary, there are letters where the makhraj, the articulation area, the exit points, they don't close. So they allow the sound of the letters and the air to run through. Okay? And these letters are called huruf al-rakhawa. It's called rikhwa, huruf rikhwa. Okay? And here huruf shadida. But also in the middle, there is a group where 5 letters do not belong to the shidda and do not belong to the rakhawa. And these are huruf bayniya. They are in between letters. Okay? So this was the conclusion that we came with last time. Now here we are going to handle the letters in another angle. And this angle is, what is the sound direction of the letter in the mouth while it's pronounced? So does this mean that there is a direction to the sound? Yes. There are sounds, there are letters where their sounds direct upwards towards the upper palate. Okay? And the upper palate in Arabic is called saqful hanak, or qubbatul hanak, or gharul hanak. And the 3 names are all for the same thing, the upper palate. Okay? And there are other letters where the sound directs normally outside the mouth. Okay? So here, by experiment, the scholars found that some letters the sound directs upwards towards the upper palate and strikes there, and some other letters it just, directs normally outside the mouth, like for example the ba, ta, sheen, sin, and all these letters. Okay, the sa, sha, ka, ba. But what about the letters that the sound directs upwards towards the upper palate? Let us try those two letters first. Okay, let us say ka. Again, say it with me. Ka, ka, ka. just the sound directs normally outside the mouth. And we will notice the difference when we pronounce the qaf. Let us say qa, qa, qa. Stronger sound, heavier sound, right? Then the kaf. We need, of course, to be sure that we are pronouncing all the letters from its correct makhraj, from its correct articulation point. Now, what is the articulation point of these two letters? And why did I get them, both of them, to compare between them? Because they are both articulated from almost the same place. And this is aqsal lisan, the furthermost tongue part, okay? And when I say furthermost, this means the further part of the tongue from the outer lips, okay? Now, when we move from the lips inside the mouth, we will meet the letter kaf first, and then we will meet the letter qaf afterwards. So the kaf is closer to the lips than the qaf. Okay, so let us say again, ka, ka, qa, qa, deeper inside. You will notice that the sound of the qaf directs upwards towards the upper palate, while the sound of the kaf, it just directs normally outside the mouth. Okay, so let us have another look here. What happens to the sound so that it directs out, and strikes the upper palate? Let's have a look. What happens in the pronunciation organs that causes the letter to be heavy? Isti'la, okay, we say heavy letter like the qaf, causing the sound direction to go upwards. What happens? Now these are the three, let me say, symptoms, the three conditions where if they happen in one letter, then this letter is a heavy letter. What happens? Let's have a look at the drawing first. This is the middle tongue here. Let's imagine this is the tongue, okay? And this is the rest of the tongue, okay? So this is here, this is the furthermost tongue, and this is the middle tongue. And the throat continues from here. So what happens to the sound? Imagine the sound is coming from here, and then it just flows upwards, and it finds the rear tongue, the furthermost tongue, it finds it upwards, okay? It's like this, it's this shape. So what happens to the sound? It just goes upwards as though it's, going on top of a hill. And then what happens here? This is the upper palate, so the sound strikes the upper palate, making an echo. It makes an echo sound in the mouth. And then the tongue, the sound just goes down, and we find the middle part of the tongue looks like this, a concave shape, okay? So this is what happens to the sound when it's running from the vocal cords through the throat upwards to the tongue, and it will find that the furthermost part of the tongue is way high up, okay, this shape. So it just climbs up and it strikes the upper palate, and it just goes down with the concave shape and out of the mouth. So first of all, the rising of the furthermost tongue. This is one of the conditions that causes a heavy sound letter. And the middle tongue takes a concave shape. There we are. Okay, so that this helps also to make this echo sound in the mouth. And also the epiglottis, lisan al-mizmar, which is here in this area, lisan al-mizmar, the epiglottis. Remember when we were talking about the ayn? Okay, so it's somewhere here. Lisan al-mizmar, the epiglottis, moves backwards and it narrows the path of the throat. Why does it narrow the part of the throat? Why is this? You know, if we have a hose, if you have a garden and you want to, spray water and, for the plants and all this, and you open the tap and the hose is filled of water, but it's not a very strong water. So what do? You narrow the tip of the hose so that the water, gets stronger, and it's gets higher, and it strikes on the plants more than what expected. So this is exactly what happens. The epiglottis moves backwards and it narrows the path of the throat, but the sound is moving, through this narrow part, and then it just, flushes upwards. It finds the further tongue high, so it just goes upwards and it flushes all the way to the striking the upper palate and then out of the mouth. These are the three main conditions for a heavy letter. The rising of the furthermost tongue, the middle tongue takes a concave shape, and the epiglottis moves backwards and it narrows the path of the throat. Let us try to see, for example, one of the heavy letters, like the ghain, for example. And let us say ra, or al. It's very good to have it on the sukoon state. Let us say al. What's happening? We can notice that the throat is getting narrower. The furthermost part of the tongue is getting higher, rises upwards, and the middle tongue is getting a concave shape. Let's try the kha. Let's say ah, ah, and push the sound so that you can notice what is happening inside the mouth. Okay? So these letters all the letters that have this symptoms while pronouncing them, then these letters are heavy letters. What do I mean by heavy? I mean that the sound moves upwards and it strikes the upper palate. Remember when we said that this is the angle that we are examining now? What is the sound direction in the mouth while we are pronouncing? So, what are the letters that the scholars found that have this character of heaviness, huruf musta'liya? Now, those letters are gathered in this sentence, and it is khussa ضغط قذ. Okay, khussa ضغط قذ. And the meaning of this, I searched it, and it means when it's really hot and it's, pressing on you. So the best place to be in is this, a hut built with straw. Okay, khussa means a straw hut, and dagt means pressure, and qadh means deep heat. Okay, So these are the 7 letters that are heavy letters, حروف مستعلية. Okay, now just have a look at them so that we can remember them. The first ones, they all have this, shape, the sad, dad, ta, dha. So these 4 letters, they are حروف مستعلية. Okay, they have the same tummy shape. I called it their tummy. Okay, so it's the sad, dad, ta, dha. They are only 4 letters in the Arabic language that are written like this. And then we have the kha and the ghain. Both are pronounced from the throat. Okay, the closest throat, the kha, ghain. And then we have the qaf just nearby, and it is from the furthermost part of the tongue, just beside the makhraj of the kha and the ghain. Okay, so these are 7 letters. We do have the ra, we do have the lam, but sometimes the ra is heavy, sometimes it's light, and the lam, there is just one case it is heavy, otherwise it is not. We're going to talk about this later, but these are the heavy letters, al-huruf al-musta'liya. Now, this is an example here. The name Khalid, okay? Khalid. Now, we as Egyptians, we would say Ya Khalid, Kha, okay? And this is wrong pronunciation regarding the Quran and regarding the Arabic language, okay? So it should be Khalid, okay? So, but all the other letters, they are huruf mustafila, they are light letters. This means that this letter, the kha, this letter, the sound, the direction of the sound is directed upwards, striking the upper palate. But all the other letters are not. The ya is not, the alif is not, the lam, the dal, they are not in this case, okay? They are huruf mustafila, light letters. But here, for example, the alif, those of you who took Tajweed with me, who took the letters, and we took the letter alif in details, we knew that the alif is a follower, okay? So it follows the letter that precedes it. So if it's a heavy letter, then the alif is going to be pronounced heavy. If it's a light letter, the alif is going to be pronounced light. And we cannot say that the alif is a heavy letter in itself, because it's always a follower, depending on the letter that is coming before it, okay? So we need to remember khussa, datin, qidh, okay, or qadh. And all the other letters, they are huruf mustafila, they are light letters. Now, I think we answered this. What happens in the pronunciation organs that causes the letter to be heavy, causing the sound direction to go upwards? And we answered this in this little diagram that we had just a short while ago. Okay, now inshallah in the coming recording we are going to read this together, and we are going to point out more our experience with the huruf musta'liya, and we are going to see and experience the direction of their sounds. I'll see you inshallah in the coming recording. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.